As I mentioned in my other video, when your Saluspa Miami dies, it will be because the impeller went out on the impeller pump, which is at the bottom. You take the base, turn it upside down, right? Take the base off. It's only got 4 or 5 screws, and you just pull the base up, and there's the impeller sitting right there. Take that guy apart, and you see that the shaft for the impeller is just a little plastic rod, and the little plastic rod wears out. It broke in this case, and hence the impeller seized up. Now, I did order a new impeller, but I'm looking at this thing, and I'm noticing that they sell metal replacements. And I can't help but think that this is an awful lot like the thickness of, a heavy-duty coat hanger. And I'm just going to try to see if I can fix this thing for free, taking off a piece of coat hanger and replacing the impeller rod with that. I know it'll be a little bit loose and it might rust, but it probably work for a year or so. So my first trick is to figure out how long to actually make the replacement because it broke. So I'm going to pull this guy out, and son of a gun, it looks like it broke off at both ends, right? Probably was coasting along, broken on one end, but still attached on the other, and then the other end broke too. So I just reached in there and grabbed it with a pair of needle nose pliers, and there we go. That's the other piece. And now I have more or less reconstructed the shaft, and let's see how long that is. Well, they say things like 79 centimeters, but I'm an old inch guy, and that looks like exactly 2.5 inches long. 2.5 inches is the number. You know what else? You know what else is 2.5 inches? My vise is 2.5 inches. So I am just going to cut this off exactly as long as my vise. You know, I know this is kind of a redneck repair, but you guys didn't buy an inflatable hot tub because you were rich, right? So let's just go for it. So I don't know, guys. Is somebody cutting up a coat hanger and selling you pieces of metal to repair your spa? I mean, obviously it's smaller. It's not as big a diameter, but I could actually find probably a nail that was that big. So it might be a little bit loose, but it's not as loose as it was when it was broken in 2 places. Let's see if it works. Okay, so there we are with the replacement metal impeller shaft. I think I see why you don't want to do this out of metal, because this is magnetic, right? It's magnetic and it spins because it's a magnetic motor. And if you use a ferrous shaft like this, it's going to spin it. It's going to spin it, and it's going to make it into a drill bit. It'll probably destroy the pump. I think I'm going to wait for the plastic one. You know, I thought about it, and if it spins, it will actually only destroy those black rubber gaskets. And I'm ordering new black rubber gaskets anyway with the new impeller. So I just want to see, when the impeller gets here, I'll tear it back down again and see what actually happened to the thing. But I don't think it'll destroy the pump, so I'm going to go ahead with this. By the way, if you got big Irish fingers like mine, you're going to really enjoy trying to get some of those nuts up there in those holes to get the screws back on. I lost one nut. Fortunately, I found a replacement. So I've got all the screws back on. Looks like it fit together pretty well. Now I just got to attach this hose to that, put this back onto that, and tack down the top, and let's see if she runs. Okay, so I've got this screw on this side of the pump, the screw on this side of the pump, all of these screws down tight. The clamp's on right. That hose looks about right. Now I'm just going to put the lid back on. Line up the little holes and put it back together. Okay, well, we covered up the top water outlet, so I guess water goes down into the pump, and let's try to start her up and let's see what happens. Well, it's water flowing out. It sounds right. It's working right. Now, there's a reason that thing's made out of plastic. I will agree that it's probably more ideal for it to be plastic, but it certainly seems to work as metal. I'm gonna run it for a few days until the other impeller comes in, and I will see, but at least for now it's up and running on a coat hanger. So there you go, guys.